glacier trend that will ultimately threaten polar bear population, as I mentioned, as well as the people that live in the Arctic regions. He showed the drunken tree, which is suffering effect from the melting Arctic, as well as the people that could lose their homes and their habitats due to the changing landscape of the Arctic region. Al Gore wrapped up the documentary by calling on Americans to step up and take action, either on a personal level by choosing to be more conservative with your energy usage to decrease your GHG emissions, or by using greener power and starting conversations on a political level by reaching out to your government agency, your representation within your local area as well. And so I think he did a great job convincing his audience that global warming is a huge issue and we should pay attention to it. Now, overall, he did a good job on with the documentary and the narration and bringing attention to global warming. Now, regarding the global warming, the Great Global Warming Swindle, created by Martin Durkin, which was a British film and was, I have to be honest, completely poorly made. I don't know what the budget is, as I mentioned previously in this for this particular documentary. However, it was very difficult to follow with and had very little to no science backing, data backing within the actual documentary itself. The ultimate agenda of the film is to illustrate that global warming is a man made theory, one, created by a group of scientists for funding purposes, and it brought up IPCC and the fact that they are misrepresenting scientists um, in their that they're misrepresenting scientists. The article also, the documentary also featured multiple scientists, which upon a lot of research, there were some of them were not scientists, some of them were actually politicians, some of them were previous writers that wrote for articles, scientific articles, but aren't necessarily scientists. The film was very difficult to follow and had very little to no science support. It brought up the idea that um, global warming is somehow caused by the sun as well. Um, Also, that carbon dioxide is not the cause of global warming, and that the increase in temperature is normal, and this is a cyclic trend that we're seeing, and ultimately this has happened before during the ice age and likely will decrease, and there's nothing to be alarmed about. um, I don't think the film did a great job convincing its audience that the great global warming is that global warming is not real, but rather for me personally, it actually made me do more research and want to learn more about understanding global warming, which pointed me back to, again, the idea that global warming, we might not necessarily understand the full extent of global warming, or the science behind it might not be completely understood at the point at this particular time, but the trend is showing that global warming is in fact real. And if I had seen the two documentaries, or rather the Great Global Warming Swindle before and Inconvenient Truth, it would not have affect my perception um, at all, or my perspective at all. My perspective will still be the same if I had seen them alone or altogether. Individually, altogether, I would have done more research like I did with An Inconvenient Truth, and completely be skeptical of the great global warming swindle. Overall, between the two film, I think An Inconvenient Truth did a better job of conveying the message to his audience at a level that most regular people, including middle school and high school students, can easily understand. It used scientific data, great illustration of charts and pictures. Um, so I think that he did a great job. Al Gore did a great job narrating and conveying the message to his audience. Um, while the great global warming swindle, excuse me, felt more like a rant with little scientific backing or data to the film or reported and disputed scientific finding. This is all I have, and thank you all for listening.